All right, we're gonna put our bun-length hot dogs down on top of our pizza crust and just arrange these in a circle around this dough. Now we're just gonna pinch the edges and wrap over these hot dogs and seal the dough. And once you've sealed your hot dogs in the dough, we're gonna grab a can of our Texas chili. Little life hack here, if you puncture a hole in the bottom of your can, your chili just falls right on out. Now we're gonna use a spurtle to spread this chili around our pizza dough. And this is gonna be the perfect game day dip, perfect for the Super Bowl, even if your football team is not playing this year. Now we're gonna top our chili with a generous amount of shredded cheese. We're gonna top with a little bit of diced onion. Now we have a couple tablespoons of melted butter, and we're gonna brush over the crust here, and we're gonna sprinkle on some everything bagel seasoning. Now grab your kitchen scissors and just cut a few cuts into each hot dog here. Now we're gonna pinch and turn our hot dogs 180 degrees. Look at how cool that looks, you guys. Our oven is preheated to 375 degrees. We're gonna throw this in for about 10 to 15 minutes until that cheese melts and that crust gets nice and golden brown. It's been 15 minutes and our dip looks amazing. We're just gonna pinch off a hot dog from the crust here, dip it into our chili, and take a bite. Look how good that looks. That is so good. You gotta try this.
I'm gonna start this recipe off by taking a hatchet and chopping down a pack of street tortillas into fourths. This is really cool because look at that. Gives you the perfect size. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a mixing bowl, set it on top of the tortillas, take about a half a stick of butter, and then we have this cinnamon brown sugar butter. Gonna go ahead and plop that in. And we're gonna go ahead and throw this in the microwave for a few seconds and get it melted. Once it's melted, we're gonna go ahead and mix all of this together, combining the butter with the cinnamon butter. We're gonna go ahead and set this down, and we're gonna take the cut up tortillas and we're gonna go ahead and just throw those into the butter mixture. And with your hand, just go ahead and completely coat all of these tortillas. They should look sort of like this. And when they do, we're gonna go ahead and move this to the side. Go ahead and move in a cookie sheet. Now we're gonna go ahead and take these tortillas and we are going to place them on this parchment paper. And you gotta just fill up as much of this as you can. So it's kind of like a little jigsaw puzzle. We got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cinnamon sugar topping. We're gonna go ahead and just douse the top of these. And then we're going to throw this into a 425 degree oven. While the chips are cooking, we're going to take the mixing bowl we've already used, leave all that in there. We're going to take this Dolly Parton buttercream frosting and empty an entire tub into the mixing bowl. We're going to take a block of room temperature cream cheese, dump that in as well. And we have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch seasoning. We're going to very heavily apply that. Now just go ahead and mix all of this together until it is combined. Okay, once it looks like this, we're going to bring in another bowl. We're actually going to transfer this into this bowl. And that's what we're gonna serve it out of. 15 minutes at 425 and they are ready to rock and roll. Hard as a rock, just like we want them. In a plate, we're just gonna go ahead and throw these on. There we go, put that right here. And now we're ready for game day. These are amazing homemade tortilla chips. Go ahead and dip that. And this is gonna be heaven in your mouth.
All right, we're just laying our bacon down onto our club crackers. We're gonna put a fourth of a piece of bacon onto each cracker. We're gonna season our bacon pieces with a little bit of brown sugar. This is gonna provide a really nice sweetness. We're gonna add one thinly sliced jalapeno on top of each of our slices of bacon. We're gonna put a little bit more brown sugar on top here. A little fresh black pepper on top of those ones. Our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're gonna throw these in for about 30 to 35 minutes until that bacon is nice and crispy. All right, our candied bacon crackers are done and that bacon is nice and crispy. We bake these for about 35 minutes, let them cool off for about 10 minutes. We're gonna add some of this delicious Mike's Hot Honey. Just a little drizzle on top is gonna go a long way. Now we're gonna transfer these to our decorative dish here. We're just gonna slide these off. All right, there we go. Let's give one of these a nice taste. Just dip it right in. That is so good. You guys have to make this.
We're gonna start by dumping a whole thing of pretzels into a mixing bowl. Have some pepperoni that I'm gonna cut up into quarters, so as easily as you can do that, cut them into fourths. We're probably gonna use about 57 slices. So what we're gonna do with this melted butter is we're gonna make garlic butter. We're gonna take some fresh oregano, dump that in, about a teaspoon. Have this squarlic. We're gonna go ahead and do a nice little squirt of garlic. And just go ahead and mix that all together. Once it's mixed, we're gonna dump this over the entire mixture. Come in with a spoon and just mix this together. Now we go ahead and take this and put this into the form pan. And we're gonna set this aside because we're gonna save this butter for later. Then we go ahead and take the seasoned salt packet out, sprinkle that over about half of it. Take a nice helping of mild cheddar, and go ahead and put that over the entire mixture. Get in there and just mix everything together, combining the cheddar cheese. Make sure it's in all the nooks and crannies of these pretzel balls. Right now the oven's preheating to 375 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and take a ramekin or a mixing bowl and put it in the middle. This is gonna leave us a nice indentation for some dipping sauce later. Now we throw it in the oven. 25 minutes at 375 and it is ready to go. We're gonna take that out. Then we're gonna throw in some dipping sauce in the middle. Here we go. Boom. Perfect for game day. These should just break right apart. Look at that cheese pull, you guys. Oh. We're gonna dip it in the sauce. Here we go.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to make my favorite dish for the cookout or a football watching party. We're gonna start with 1 pound of lean ground beef. Then we're gonna add 1 pound of Italian sausage. I'm gonna take the casing off of these sweet Italian sausages. Then we're gonna add our cheddar cheese and freshly grated pepper jack. You can also add cream cheese if you prefer, whatever cheese you like. And we're in Texas and we like heat, so we're gonna add some spicy diced green chilies right on top. Now get your favorite barbecue rub. I'm gonna use this Honey Hog Barbecue from Meat Church, and we're just gonna sprinkle a generous amount right on top. Now get in there with your hands. You wanna mix up all that meat. Now you can add whatever cheese you like if you don't like spicy. You can omit the peppers. You can add fresh jalapenos. You can add green onions. We want every bite to be meaty, cheesy, and delicious. Now here's the fun part. We're gonna stuff this meat into our manicotti pasta shells. We're just gonna slide our manicotti over and get our tray. We're just gonna take each manicotti tube and just stuff in that delicious meat. You can use a piping bag for this or just use your hands. I think it's easier to use your hands and it's kind of satisfying too. And once your meat tube has been sufficiently stuffed, you're gonna grab 1 slice of bacon and we're just gonna wrap this thing around nice and tight. You want bacon fully coating this thing. And this is gonna be so good, you guys. Once your shell is fully stuffed, you're just gonna place it on your rack here. Just wrap these nice and tight. Some people use 2 slices of bacon for this. I like a nice crispy bacon, so I'm only putting 1 slice of bacon. What about you guys? Do you prefer your bacon more crispy or chewy? And once your last shotgun shell has been bacon wrapped, we're gonna top it with a little more of that barbecue rub. Again, I'm using this Honey Hog Barbecue from Meat Church. We just want a nice, generous coating on each of our shotgun shells. We're gonna throw these in the fridge for about 4 hours or overnight. That's gonna help soften up those noodles. And then we are gonna bake these for about an hour at 350 degrees. And we're gonna come back for one final step. All right, I baked these for a little over an hour and they turned out perfect. That bacon is nice and crispy. Now we're gonna grab our favorite barbecue sauce. I'm gonna use this Stubbs sauce and we're just gonna brush a little bit on top of these. Now let me know in the comments, what is your favorite barbecue sauce? I wanna know. You guys have some really awesome recommendations. Now I used an oven to bake mine, but you can use a smoker. I just don't have a smoker. I've heard that these are delicious in the smoker. And once all your barbecue sauce has been brushed on, we're gonna throw these back in a 350-degree oven for about 10 more minutes. Come back and enjoy. All right, we baked those for an additional 10 minutes and they look wonderful. We're gonna grab our festive football plate and we're gonna go ahead and slide these on. These are a hearty snack. You can pick them up, you can cut into them with a fork and knife, however you wanna serve these. And look at how good these look. Let's go ahead and cut into one. And look at that, you guys. Let's try a bite. Those are so good. You guys gotta try these.
Today you're in for a treat. We're gonna take an entire pack of Hawaiian king rolls, dump them out, cut them in half just like that. Fold this over, and now we're taking some turkey from the deli, lay it down very nicely, covering the entire bottom part of the bun. Then take some ham and do the exact same thing. Now take some Swiss cheese, holier the better, put it on as thick as you want. Take the top part of the bun, give it a nice little squeeze, take a knife, cut them into individual sliders. This makes them perfect for finger food for any game or any occasion. And let me tell you, this will be the life of the party. Now spread them out evenly, take a butter egg wash and paint the top and side of every single slider and make sure you get it nice and coated because now we're coming with some seasoning. We're gonna go ahead and sprinkle your favorite seasoning on top of these buns and this is gonna make it pop. Put in the oven at 350 for 17 minutes, get your dipping sauce, drench your buns in the sauce and let me tell you, now it's time to eat. You're gonna thank me later, yum.
We're cutting 2 packs of Grand's biscuits into quarters and we're dropping them into our greased bundt pan. This is gonna be a delicious game day snack. Football season is here and we couldn't be happier in our household. We are big football fans. When you finish cutting up your biscuits, we're gonna pour 1 stick of melted butter directly over the top. This is like the glue that holds everything together. We're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic on top. The more garlic, the better. And directly on top of that, we're gonna put an entire bag of chopped pepperoni. We've cut these in half to make them easier. On top of that, we're gonna go about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning and a tablespoon of everything bagel seasoning. And obviously my dog smells it because she is here and she's excited. On top of that, we're gonna pour a 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese just directly on top like that. And we're gonna go with another cup of Parmesan cheese. This looks delicious. Now we're gonna mix all of this up in a mixing bowl. I'm just gonna use my hands because you can get in the crevices and it's kind of fun. We don't need to add sauce to this yet because we're gonna add sauce in a later step. And if you haven't figured out what this is yet, it is a pull apart pizza dip that is completely delicious, perfect for game day. Now in our household, we are big football fans. Can you look at my jersey and tell me who you think we're fans of?
Says it.
Go Cowboys, right, babe? My wife is actually a bigger football fan than I am. I got her into fantasy football this year and she's not doing so well, but she's having a lot of fun. All right, once we've mixed all that up, we're going back in our bundt pan and we're just gonna drop this in and spread it all around. You wanna push it down into the bottom there. Make sure it's all flattened down, just like that. And we're gonna put this in a 350-degree oven until it looks crispy. It's probably gonna be about 30 minutes. Come back and assemble this delicious appetizer. All right, it's been about 35 minutes and our food is ready. It looks delicious and golden brown. Now we're gonna plate this on our football-themed ready, set, eat plate because I am ready to eat. So we're gonna put it upside down on top like that. And we're gonna flip it just like that and hope it comes out in one piece. Ooh, oh my God, it smells so good. You ready for this, babe?
Yeah.
We're gonna put a little bowl right there. Fill it with your favorite marinara sauce. And this is gonna be a delicious pizza bite dipping treat. We're just gonna grab a piece from the edge.
That looks really good.
Oh my God, this smells good. Look at how cheesy that is, you guys. Oh my gosh. All right, it's a little hot, but we're gonna dig right in. Oh my God. This tastes like something you'd get in a restaurant. This is delicious. Pizza-y, saucy, perfect for game day. You gonna try a bite, babe? Mm-hmm. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
This is so good. You guys have to make this today or on the next game day.
We're gonna start by putting some chive-infused cream cheese onto these hash brown patties, and we're gonna set them on a wire rack. Once they're covered with cream cheese, we're gonna take this Dano's seasoning, sprinkle a nice healthy amount on each one of these. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take some brisket, and I'm going to put a generous amount of brisket on each one of these. Once we have the brisket on a plate, we're gonna take more of that seasoning, and right now the oven's preheating to 375 degrees. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw these into the oven. 20 minutes in the oven, and I'm gonna take some barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna put a little bit on each one of these. Now we're gonna come in with a triple cheddar blend, and we are going to apply a nice generous amount on each one. Back in the oven it goes. 10 more minutes in the oven, and they are ready for the sour cream. We're gonna go ahead and put a little bit on each one. I'm gonna come with some of this crispy bacon. Green onions, we're gonna go ahead and put a nice amount of the green onions on there. So good, you guys, you have to try it.
We're gonna add our shredded chicken to our greased crock pot. Now this was about 3 large chicken breasts. We're gonna add about half a pack of this ranch seasoning just directly on top here. This is gonna flavor this chicken nicely. We're gonna add a cup of original Frank's Red Hot. You can use their buffalo if you prefer. We just like the original because it's extra spicy. And we're gonna go with a cup of ranch dressing as well. You can add more or less ranch depending on how spicy you like this thing. Of course, you can't have a game day dip without cream cheese. We're gonna throw it right on top of there. And we have an entire block of shredded cheddar cheese we're gonna put right on top there. Now you're gonna grab your spurtle or spatula and just give everything a quick mix. We are hosting our first annual Super Bowl party this year and we cannot wait. We're gonna cover this and cook on low for about an hour and a half, stirring occasionally, come back and add a couple toppings. All right, it's been an hour and a half and this thing smells amazing. And we're gonna do something fun here with our sour cream. We're gonna make a little football design and we're gonna top with some fresh chopped green onion and scoop out a nice portion of this delicious buffalo chicken dip. That is so good.
We're gonna start by dumping about 40 chicken wings into a crock pot. We're gonna go ahead and set this bowl right on top. I'm gonna take 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of water. We're gonna do a half a cup of white vinegar, 3 finely chopped up jalapeno peppers with the seeds, 1 tablespoon of habanero chilies, 1/4 cup of natural raw honey, tablespoon of ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, tablespoon of smoked Himalayan salt, 1 tablespoon of crushed up red pepper flakes. Whisk this all together, combining all the ingredients. Once it looks like this, we're gonna dump this over the wings. Make sure you get everything out. And go ahead and mix all this together. We're gonna cook this on high. Okay, it's been 4 hours on high. They should be fully cooked right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take a wire rack. We're gonna set these onto the wire rack, just like this. We're gonna throw these in the oven or air fryer at 400 degrees. Now while we're waiting for those wings to cook up, we are gonna actually take this and we're gonna put it onto the stove and we're gonna reduce this down. So this is actually gonna reduce down and this will be the sauce we use. So right now it's boiling and we're just gonna keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of this. 15 minutes at 400 and they are ready to go into the sauce. So we're gonna actually just place these into the sauce very gently because these are literally fall off the bone right now. And you can eat them like this if you want, but trust me, you're gonna wanna put them in the sauce. Very gently mix them around. I don't know if you're a wingy or a drummy, but I prefer the wingies myself. We're gonna put some drummies on there. A wingy, there you have it. That's how you make these amazing wings in the crock pot. And when you come out, they're super, super tender. Now watch this. These literally just fall off the bone. Like the bone just came right out. So good, you guys.
You're just gonna pour your spinach into the bottom of your greased crock pot. This is 10 ounces of frozen spinach. Now you can use fresh or frozen. We have 1 14-ounce can of artichoke hearts quartered. We're just gonna pour these directly over the top. And even these are a little bit too big for me. So we're just gonna get our scissors here and just chop up the big pieces. If you can't tell yet, we are making a delicious crock pot spinach artichoke dip. We host a Super Bowl party every year and this is one of my favorite dips to make for it. Everyone absolutely loves this. Now we're gonna go about 2 to 3 tablespoons of garlic on top. We love heat, so we're gonna go with these hot diced green chilies. These are so good. Put an entire stick of butter right on top. And it wouldn't be a crock pot dip without the cream cheese. You know it, so we're gonna add block of cream cheese right on top. We're gonna start with a cup of mozzarella directly on top. And this calls for a bunch of Parmesan Romano cheese. I have 2 5-ounce tubs here, totaling 10 ounces of Parmesan Romano. And this is incredibly easy to make. We're just gonna pop the lid on, cook it on low for about 2 hours, stir it, and cook it 1 more hour. And I'm gonna come back and show you guys how to make a delicious homemade pita chip recipe. I'm just using regular low-fat pita bread. We're gonna grab a little bit of olive oil. I have this yummy Grazza stuff. We're gonna coat both sides in olive oil. Just get a little brush. You want every inch of this evenly coated. And this is way better than store-bought pita chips. It's better than tortilla chips, and it's gonna pair really wonderfully with that spin dip. Now you're just gonna take a pizza cutter and just give these a few slices here. Now you grab your parchment lined or wire baking tray, and we're just gonna transfer these pitas. And you just wanna arrange these, give each one a little bit of space to cook. And we're gonna season these with some sea salt. And we're gonna hit it with that Italian seasoning. You can season these however you want. I just love the Italian seasoning on pita chips, just like that. We're gonna bake these in a 400-degree oven for 5 to 10 minutes until they are golden brown. All right, our pita chips are done. We baked them for about 10 minutes in the oven and they got nice and golden. Look at that crisp, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and transfer these to our serving bowl. Your guests are absolutely gonna love these fresh pita chips with that spinach artichoke dip. And there we have it. Let's check on our spinach dip. All right, it's been 2 hours and our spin dip is rolling. I did give it a little stir because I have a hot spot in my crock pot. And I did leave out one special ingredient. We're gonna put 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm gonna use my new Dallas Cowboy colored spurtle, scoop out 8 ounces, and we're just gonna give this a nice mix. Want to incorporate all of those creamy, delicious flavors with that sour cream. And in 1 more hour, this is gonna be completely ready to eat. And you guys are not gonna believe how good this is. It's been an hour and our spin dip is done. That looks so good. Let's dive in and serve ourselves a nice big scoop. Go right there. Look at that, you guys. Let's try it out with our homemade pita chips. Really hot. That is so good. You guys gotta try it.
We're gonna actually roll this up. I'm gonna start with an ice cream scoop of regatta cheese on this tortilla shell. Then we take some of your favorite pizza sauce and put it on there, and then kind of a little bit of a circle, just like this. Come in with a spoon, and we mix this all together. Next, we're gonna come in with some pepperoni, and we're just gonna go ahead and evenly spread that out. Doesn't have to be edge to edge. Then we come in with this basil and some oregano. And if you have fresh, that would be better, but we do not. And then for heat, we're gonna put in some red pepper flakes. Last but not least, we have some mozzarella cheese. We're gonna go ahead and put a nice, healthy amount on there. Get it nice and even. We're gonna actually roll this up just like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut these into little, kind of like sushi rolls. Kind of get them as even as possible. We're gonna move this cake pan in, and we're gonna take these and we're gonna set them up just like this. We're gonna make a little circular pattern around the entire pan. Okay, we're gonna throw the last 2 in. This should be a fairly tight fit. And now we're gonna go ahead and take some oregano and some basil, a red pepper flake. Then we're gonna finish it off with, you guessed it, some more mozzarella cheese. We're gonna put a nice little cap on here. We're gonna go ahead and toss this into the oven. 25 minutes at 425, and look at this, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and take these off. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now the cool thing about this is great for game day. Peel right off, and look at this, you guys, cooked perfectly. Oh my gosh, can I wait to try this. This is so good, you guys. You have to try this.
We're gonna put 3 cans of drained whole corn kernels into the bottom of our crock pot. On top of that, we're gonna add 1 bag of shredded cheese. I like this Mexican cheese blend. It is perfect for dips. We're gonna add 2 blocks of cream cheese right on top of that. This is gonna be so good, you guys. Just get that cream cheese on top. Now we have 2 sliced jalapenos. I kept a lot of the seeds in these because we like ours spicy, but we're just gonna go directly on top of our cheese and our corn. This is gonna be so good, you guys. We're gonna add 6 ounces of light cream cheese on top. Light, just to keep it a little bit healthy, but you can add the regular stuff. Just squirt it on like that. And we love football watching parties, so we love a good dip recipe, and this one is so easy. We have our crock pot on high heat. We're gonna cover it and cook for about an hour. We're gonna stir it halfway through, come back and add some delicious toppings. And it's been 1 hour, and this smells delicious. We're gonna go ahead and put this on low heat and slide it to the side. We're gonna grab some delicious queso fresco. This stuff is so good. I'm gonna show you guys a quick little life hack to cut this up into smaller pieces. I didn't add this earlier because it melts so quickly and I didn't want it to burn up. So we're gonna grab one of these cooling racks and put it upside down on top of our cheese and just press down. And this is a great life hack of how to cut your cheese into tiny little bricks. And look at that, you guys, it comes right out perfect. So now we're gonna slide our crock pot back over, and we're gonna put all that delicious queso fresco directly into our crock pot. This is gonna be so creamy. It's gonna melt nicely. Now I have cooked half a pack of bacon and cut these up into tiny strips. I love crispy, crispy bacon. What about you guys? Are you crispy bacon or soft bacon fans? We're gonna add a little bit of taco seasoning for a little kick. Just sprinkle some over the top. I'd say about a tablespoon is all you need. We're gonna give this a quick mix and let this cook on low for 30 minutes just to melt that cheese and mix everything up. We're gonna come back and try out this quick and easy game day dip. All right, it's been 30 minutes and everything is cooked perfectly. We're gonna go ahead and squeeze in 1 whole lime for acidity. We're gonna use our little lime squeezer here and just squeeze right over the top. This is a lot like a Mexican street corn, so this lime really complements all these flavors. You could add cilantro, and that would be really delicious too. We're gonna give this one final mix, and we are ready to serve.
Grab your favorite tortilla chips or corn chips and dive right in. Oh my gosh. Looks so good.
We're gonna start by taking some of this 97.3 beef and just kind of mushing it into a bun. Hit with some seasoning of your choice. And we're gonna take these over to a hot pan. Just throw these down. Then throw a nice cast iron weight on there. Let those cook up. Go ahead and take this off. Now we're gonna flip them. Should be cooked up perfectly. And we're gonna go ahead and throw some Swiss cheese on there. One piece on each that's been cut in half. Throw it on the lid. Now the cheese is all melted. We're just gonna go ahead and throw these onto a plate. We're gonna come over here. Got your tomato. Put a little bit of this sauce on there. You can put whatever you want, or you don't have to put anything. We got some lettuce. Gotta have your veggies. Just fold this bad boy over. And that is your perfect game day sandwich. Dig in. Buon appetito.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to make my favorite dish for the cookout or a football watching party. We're gonna start with 1 pound of lean ground beef. Then we're gonna add 1 pound of Italian sausage. I'm gonna take the casing off of these sweet Italian sausages. Then we're gonna add our cheddar cheese and freshly grated pepper jack. You can also add cream cheese if you prefer, whatever cheese you like. And we're in Texas and we like heat, so we're gonna add some spicy diced green chilies right on top. Now get your favorite barbecue rub. I'm gonna use this Honey Hog Barbecue from Meat Church, and we're just gonna sprinkle a generous amount right on top. Now get in there with your hands. You wanna mix up all that meat. Now you can add whatever cheese you like if you don't like spicy. You can omit the peppers. You can add fresh jalapenos. You can add green onions. We want every bite to be meaty, cheesy, and delicious. Now here's the fun part. We're gonna stuff this meat into our manicotti pasta shells. We're just gonna slide our manicotti over and get our tray. You're just gonna take each manicotti tube and just stuff in that delicious meat. You can use a piping bag for this or just use your hands. I think it's easier to use your hands and it's kind of satisfying too. And once your meat tube has been sufficiently stuffed, you're gonna grab 1 slice of bacon and we're just gonna wrap this thing around nice and tight. You want bacon fully coating this thing. And this is gonna be so good, you guys. Once your shell is fully stuffed, you're just gonna place it on your rack here. Just wrap these nice and tight. Some people use 2 slices of bacon for this. I like a nice crispy bacon, so I'm only putting 1 slice of bacon. What about you guys? Do you prefer your bacon more crispy or chewy? And once your last shotgun shell has been bacon wrapped, we're gonna top it with a little more of that barbecue rub. Again, I'm using this Honey Hog Barbecue from Meat Church. We just want a nice, generous coating on each of our shotgun shells. We're gonna throw these in the fridge for about 4 hours or overnight. That's gonna help soften up those noodles. And then we are gonna bake these for about an hour at 350 degrees. And we're gonna come back for one final step. All right, I baked these for a little over an hour and they turned out perfect. That bacon is nice and crispy. Now we're gonna grab our favorite barbecue sauce. I'm gonna use this Stubbs sauce and we're just gonna brush a little bit on top of these. Now let me know in the comments, what is your favorite barbecue sauce? I wanna know. You guys have some really awesome recommendations. Now I used an oven to bake mine, but you can use a smoker. I just don't have a smoker. I've heard that these are delicious in the smoker. And once all your barbecue sauce has been brushed on, we're gonna throw these back in a 350 degree oven for about 10 more minutes. Come back and enjoy. All right, we baked those for an additional 10 minutes and they look wonderful. We're gonna grab our festive football plate and we're gonna go ahead and slide these on. These are a hearty snack. You can pick them up, you can cut into them with a fork and knife, however you wanna serve these. And look at how good these look. Let's go ahead and cut into one. And look at that, you guys. Let's try a bite. Those are so good. You guys gotta try these. You're just gonna pour your marinara sauce directly into your crock pot and directly on top of that, 1 pound of our ground beef, an entire chopped onion, a bunch of garlic because we love garlic in this family. I'd say about 2 tablespoons of garlic, about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon of parsley, about a teaspoon of red pepper as well. We love spicy. And you can't forget your salt and pepper. And this is gonna be a delicious family recipe. We're gonna go about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 1 jug of beef broth. And we're just gonna go directly on top. And we're just gonna give everything a nice mix with our spoon. We have our crock pot on high. We're gonna leave it to cook for about 2.5 hours covered. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours. We're gonna start breaking apart some lasagna noodles. We're gonna just break them into generous sized chunks and throw them right down into this. We're gonna use 12 sheets of this and just dump it right in. And once our lasagna noodles are broken up, we're gonna add about a half cup of heavy cream. This is gonna give it some nice flavor and nice color. We're just gonna mix everything up one final time, and we're gonna leave this on high heat, cook it for about another 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we can go ahead and put our crock pot on warm, take our lid off, and that looks beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and spoon some of this into a bowl. Now, of course, we have to add some cheese to our lasagna, so we're gonna add some mozzarella cheese and my personal favorite, ricotta cheese. Just put it directly on top. And look at how good that looks, you guys. Let's try it out.